It occurred to me after the shoot, when I got back to the studio, that what I had in front of me was the most important camera and printer to be available in the last decade. Not just because of their individual abilities, but because of how powerful they are when they're combined, helping me see things differently and reimagine. So generally I focus on the fine art printing aspect rather than just photo printing, because there's more involved, there's more detail involved, there's more latitude and color management, and just the prints look beautiful, especially on beautiful fine art paper. And Canon are one of these brands which produce the camera, the lenses, the printer, the ink and the paper. So it covers the entire ecosystem all the way through, and it allows me to maintain consistency in the imagery, in the image quality and the output from capture to the actual print as well. So for me, it's a great system. It's an overall ecosystem that I can trust in and rely upon. But as a wedding and portrait photographer, printing is so important, because ultimately we're creating these stunning images for people to enjoy, to hang on their walls and print albums as heirlooms to pass on to their children and their children's children. Printing is everything. So I tend to focus on archival quality fine art prints. Really, you need a printer that can do that level of printing justice and do that level of paper justice as well. The imagePROGRAF PRO-300 is perfect for that, because it uses 10 inks and it uses a Chroma Optimizer. So you don't need to switch inks to cover the greys through to the blacks. And you don't need to switch the type of ink cartridges depending on what sort of paper that you're using. You just change the settings on the software that comes with the printer, and you're just good to go. It's nice and easy. Considering the performance and the ability of the Pro-300, it's actually quite a compact unit. It sits under the Pro-1000, so it inherits the same ink and processing system. So it's a real achievement by Canon on this. Also bear in mind that the Pro-300 can print up to A3+. So you can print quite large prints from such a small unit, and it doesn't take up so much space in your studio. It sits there quite nicely. It's actually quite pleasing to look at, and in that sense, there's a lot of gains to be had with a printer of this size and this ability. One of the things I really enjoy about the Pro-300 is its ability to retain details and shadows. So for me, dynamic range is so important all the way through. And I mean dynamic range in the actual image making in the camera, but then to be able to represent that in prints afterwards. The last thing you want is for shadows to look blocky and dense when there's actually a lot of information and detail in those areas. So with the Pro-300, we're able to retain that shadow information and really enjoy that dynamic range, especially in darker, moodier images. One of the beautiful things about printing black and whites with the Pro-300 and the free professional printer layout software that comes with it is the ability to print pure black and whites. The professional print and layout software allows you to use a pure black and white photo print mode. This print mode allows you to produce true monochrome prints without worrying about color casts that are too cool or too warm. You're also able to deliver true blacks of different media types, whether it's fine art or glossy, because the Pro-300 delivers rich, deep blacks on both media types. The deepest blacks I've seen on any Canon fine art printer so far. Many papers don't allow you to actually print the image from edge to edge, so you can't have truly borderless prints. And for the first time, I've been able to create effortless borderless printing without worrying about the ink bleeding over the page onto the rollers. It prints cleanly edge to edge, and particularly with the Canon fine art media as well. It's inbuilt into the profile, so that you just check a box in the software and say you want borderless printing or not. It's as easy as that. There are options to make changes to color management and to shift the color bias depending on your personal preference and what you're trying to achieve with the image as well. So the software makes it easy for you by creating a pattern print. Imagine you had an image on the screen and you're not entirely sure which way you want to shift the colors. Do you want it to go more toward greens or magentas? Or do you want it to go more toward reds or blues and so on? So this allows you to just look at that one image, showing you all the different variations, and you can literally look at it by eye on that particular, printed on that paper in fact. You can just input those settings and be on your way. It's as simple as that. One of the most useful tools in any piece of software, and particularly professional print and layout, is the ability to soft proof. And this basically means that the software tries to simulate the look and feel of the paper. So when you click on soft proof, the image suddenly looks a little bit brighter, a little bit softer, But what it's doing is it's simulating the paper white and how that ink will sit on that paper. So you can gauge by eye before you even print on the screen how it's going to look. So if you wanted to go back and make some adjustments to the image, you can do that. All of these steps are there to minimize the guesswork and wastage of paper and ink. This design and layout clearly signals Canon's intent to bridge the gap between a consumer printer and a professional printer by bringing the convenience of a consumer printer to the professional realm and professional performance. I wish I had this printer when I first got into professional photo printing. It's a beautiful balance of accuracy, adjustability, usability and size. It's really a perfect fit.